Chosen one, do not touch your screen. Just listen. Focus on the pressure inside your head right now. You may think it's just the weight of stress or anxiety, but what you're feeling is not an attack. It is the arrival of something divine. The sensation of heaviness you've been experiencing, that chaotic fog clouding your thoughts, is not a coincidence. It's not the burden of unpaid bills or the weight of uncertainty. God sent me to tell you that you are misdiagnosing your own miracle. The pressure you're feeling is a sign that a massive shift is happening in your life right now, a shift that will change everything. It is not just coming, it is already colliding with your reality, pressing against the door of your destiny. God is issuing a serious warning in this moment. You are on the verge of a financial breakthrough, an immense transformation that could unlock the resources you've been praying for. This breakthrough is not ordinary. It is the billionaire shift, a divine transfer of wealth meant to position you to fulfill your purpose and to fund God's kingdom. But here's the thing, this shift, this great opportunity is not just about the money. It's about your capacity to receive it. If your internal frequency is still set to survival mode, if your mind and heart are still locked in the chaos of everyday stress, the abundance that is meant to bless you will overwhelm you instead. The shift will not just come into your life, it will crush you under the weight of its power, because you won't be able to hold it. You see, the enemy isn't fighting to keep the wealth away. That's not his strategy. The real battle is over your mind. The enemy knows that if he can keep your mind locked in a state of worry, fear, and chaos, he can prevent you from receiving the blessings that are meant for you. It's not about keeping you from wealth. It's about keeping you from the mindset that can handle it. And right now, God is warning you this is a critical moment. This shift is real and it's happening right now, but you must prepare to receive it. The atmosphere in your life has been feeling heavy for a reason. It's not just a random series of stressful events, it's divine timing. You've felt a shift in the atmosphere recently, haven't you? A sense of urgency, a compression of time where things that would normally take years are now happening in mere days. This intensity is no accident. This is God's timing. This is the shift you've been praying for. In the book of Haggai 2:8, God declares, "The silver is mine and the gold is mine." But he wasn't just talking about wealth for wealth's sake. He was speaking to a people who were working to rebuild his temple. He was telling them that the resources to restore the temple had already been secured. And you, chosen one, are that temple. God is reclaiming the wealth of the world and funneling it into your life for a divine purpose. You are meant to carry this wealth not just for your own benefit, but to advance the kingdom. But before this wealth comes, there is one important thing you need to understand. The battle for your mind is far from over. The enemy is targeting your clarity and peace of mind in this very moment. He knows that if he can keep your mind in turmoil, you won't be able to receive the magnitude of what God has prepared for you. And if you miss this moment of preparation, you miss the transfer. This is why it is crucial that you stay with me throughout this entire video. At the end of this message, we are going to perform a sealing activation ceremony that will lock this new frequency into your spirit, aligning your mind and heart with the wealth and abundance that are coming. If you leave now, you will have the knowledge, but you will not have the power to walk into this new season. Stay with me until the very end, because what happens next will determine whether you are ready to receive the fullness of your breakthrough. The billionaire shift is not something that is coming in the distant future, something that you will eventually get to or hope to experience someday. No, the shift is here right now, colliding with your reality in this very moment. The divine timing of this moment is undeniable, and the weight of what is pressing against you is far greater than you may even realize. It's not just stress or anxiety causing this heaviness in your mind. It is the profound shift of wealth abundance and divine purpose that is arriving at your doorstep. The pressure you're feeling is not an attack, it is a sign. It's the weight of glory and gold pressing against the very door of your destiny. This weight is a divine sign that the time is now. What has felt heavy, chaotic, and disorienting is not a coincidence. It's the atmosphere of transformation, the atmosphere of wealth and favor, and you are being prepared to carry it. You are standing at the threshold of something far greater than yourself, and it is about to break through. But in order for you to receive what is being prepared for you, you must first understand the magnitude of this moment. The heaviness you're feeling is not a burden meant to break you. It's the weight of divine wealth pressing against the door of your destiny. God has already secured the resources to transform your life, but there is a crucial step you must be ready to receive it. You've likely felt this weight in your life recently, the heaviness of something immense coming into view. Maybe it's been a sense of urgency in the air, or a feeling that things are changing at an accelerated pace. This feeling is not a coincidence, but a divine indicator that something powerful is on its way. In the Bible, in Haggai 2:8, God declares, "The silver is mine and the gold is mine." But the true context of this declaration is vital. God was not simply bragging about his wealth. He was preparing his people for something far greater. He was declaring that the resources needed to fulfill his purpose on earth were already secured. God wasn't just referring to the wealth of the world. He was speaking of the wealth that would restore and rebuild. You chosen one are that temple. You are being prepared to carry this wealth not for selfish gain, but to fund his kingdom and fulfill your divine purpose. This wealth is being reclaimed from the systems of this world and is being funneled into your life. It is being given to you not as a mere financial blessing, but as a divine resource to help you fulfill your purpose and bring restoration to the world around you. The weight you feel is the press of glory and gold preparing to break through, but before it can manifest, you must align yourself with this new reality. But even though the wealth is ready to flow into your life, there's a critical issue you need to address first: the strategy of the enemy. The enemy is not fighting you to keep the wealth away. His battle isn't about stopping the wealth from coming to you. It's about preventing you from being able to receive it. The enemy understands that if he can keep you stuck in a state of stress, worry, and fear, he can block the flow of abundance into your life. He doesn't need to stop the wealth. He just needs to stop you from being able to receive it. That's why you feel that heaviness the enemy is fighting for your mind, your clarity, and your capacity to receive. If your mind and heart remain in a state of fear and survival, the blessings and abundance that are knocking at your door will not find a container to land in. You must reset your internal frequency to align with the abundance that is coming. In order for you to hold this new wealth, this new abundance, you must first recalibrate your mind, your spirit, and your capacity. Think of it this way: if your mind is stuck in the old frequencies of lack, fear, and survival, you will be unable to receive the divine abundance that is headed your way. The enemy's strategy is to keep you in that low frequency, stuck in beta, the frequency of stress and survival. The enemy knows that when your mind is in beta, you cannot hear the divine downloads you need to receive. You cannot hear the strategy, the ideas, or the direction that will lead you to prosperity. Instead, you remain locked in a place of reaction, of defense, rather than a place of receiving and abundance. Your frequency must change. You must move from the beta state of high alert stress and survival into the theta state of receiving creativity and divine connection. This is where the shift happens. Your mind must be prepared to handle what is coming. If your mind remains focused on survival, on fear, on the past struggles, then the wealth will simply pass you by. It will not find a home in you. But if you can shift your frequency, if you can reset your internal state to one of peace, abundance, and receptivity, the wealth will flow freely into your life. You will become a vessel, a conduit for divine abundance, able to carry the weight of glory and gold without being overwhelmed by it. The wealth will not crush you. It will build you. It will not weigh you down. It will elevate you. But first, you must align your internal frequency with the divine flow of abundance that is already on its way to you. The enemy's strategy is subtle but powerful. He wants to keep you distracted, disoriented, and in a state of fear. He wants to keep you locked in beta, where you are unable to receive what God has already secured for you. But God is calling you to move beyond that. He is calling you to shift your mind, your spirit, and your heart into alignment with the abundance that is coming. The billionaire shift is already here, and it's waiting for you to open the door, to open your mind, and to receive it. The weight you feel right now is not meant to break you. It is meant to prepare you to carry the glory and the gold that is about to be released into your life. You have been chosen for this moment, chosen to receive this wealth, and chosen to use it for His kingdom. It's time to reset your frequency, to align with divine abundance, and to step into the life that God has prepared for you. The shift is happening now. Will you be ready to receive it? Things that typically take years are happening in days. Have you felt the urgency in the air lately? Things are accelerating at a pace that you may not fully understand, but it's happening right before your eyes. The divine shift is moving faster than ever, and what used to take years of preparation, struggle, and labor is now unfolding in mere days. This sudden compression in time is not an accident. It's a sign of divine acceleration. The heavens are opening, and what God has prepared for you is arriving quickly. What you've prayed for, what you've waited for, is coming into your life now at a speed that might feel overwhelming, but know that it is precisely how God works. Time is being shortened to ensure that His plans are fulfilled without delay. This is not a moment to be passive or to hesitate. It's a moment to step into action, to move with the flow of divine timing. The shift is here, and things are happening faster than ever, because God is accelerating the process to position you for what He's about to release into your life. This divine acceleration is not just a matter of things happening more quickly. It's a sign that God is moving in ways that transcend natural limitations. You see, when God decides it's time for a shift, He doesn't wait for the world's systems or the conventional laws of time and space to dictate the outcome. His power is beyond the earthly constraints that we are so used to. He can compress timelines, shorten delays, and deliver what would normally take years in just a few moments. If you've been feeling like things are moving faster than you can keep up with, that's because they are. But do not be alarmed or intimidated. This is the hand of God at work, bringing His perfect will into your life faster than ever before. What used to seem impossible is now within reach, and what you thought was far away is suddenly knocking on your door. This is the divine acceleration you've been waiting for, and it's here now. But while God's timing is always perfect, there is something crucial that you must understand as this shift takes place. Divine resources are already secured. In Haggai 2:8, God declares, "The silver is mine, and the gold is mine." This statement is not just a proclamation of wealth, it's a declaration of ownership and authority over all that exists. God is telling you that everything you need to fulfill your purpose, everything you've prayed for, has already been secured. The resources to restore you, to elevate you, and to fund His kingdom work are already in place. The silver and the gold, the abundance you've been seeking, are already in His hands, and He is now releasing them into your life. But this is not just about wealth for the sake of wealth. It's about what that wealth represents. It's about God reclaiming the resources of this world to restore His kingdom. You are part of that restoration. You are the vessel through which these resources are flowing. God is bringing wealth into your life not only to bless you, but to position you as a steward of His divine plan. The resources you are about to receive are already secured in the spiritual realm. What God has prepared for you, He is now releasing into the physical realm, and you are the one chosen to carry it. However, while the wealth is coming, there is an important warning that must be heeded. The wealth you're about to receive could overwhelm you if your mind and heart aren't prepared to handle it. This is not something to be taken lightly. The abundance and success that God is preparing for you are not meant to crush you. They are meant to elevate you. But in order for you to carry this new level of wealth and influence, you must first be equipped to handle it. The worst thing that can happen is for the blessings to arrive in a moment of unpreparedness, and for that wealth to overwhelm you rather than empower you. This is why it is so crucial to reset your internal frequency, to renew your mind, and to align your heart with the divine purpose that is unfolding. If you are still operating from a place of survival mode, still trapped in the mindset of lack and fear, the abundance will be too much for you to hold. It will slip through your fingers, or worse, it will begin to control you, instead of you controlling it. Wealth without preparation can be a curse. But wealth with the right mindset, with a heart, aligned to God's purpose, can be one of the greatest blessings of your life. You've been chosen to receive these divine resources, but it's important to remember that receiving them requires a level of spiritual maturity and mental clarity. The enemy knows that if he can keep you in a state of fear or confusion, you will never be able to receive what God is releasing into your life. That's why you've been under attack in your mind lately. Why the weight has been so heavy and the pressure so intense. The enemy's goal is to keep you distracted, disoriented, and unable to focus on the truth of what God is doing. But I'm here to remind you that this wealth is not a curse. It is your inheritance, and it's been secured by God Himself. But you must align yourself with this new reality, prepare your heart to receive it, and commit to walking in the purpose that God has set before you. The wealth is already yours. The question is, are you ready to handle it? Will you allow it to elevate you, or will you allow fear to block it from your life? The billionaire shift is happening right now, and it's time for you to step into your divine inheritance. Don't let the enemy keep you from what God has already secured for you. The biological trap that many people fall into when faced with sudden wealth is often overlooked. We see examples of it in the news all the time. Lottery winners, athletes, or celebrities who come into vast sums of money only to lose it all within a few years. In fact, statistics show that most lottery winners go bankrupt within 5 years of winning because they don't have the internal capacity to handle sudden wealth. This is a phenomenon that goes beyond poor financial decisions or lack of planning. It speaks to something deeper within the human psyche, the inability to hold and sustain wealth when your internal frequency is not aligned with abundance. The truth is, when wealth comes to someone who has not developed the capacity to hold it, it can overwhelm them. Their internal container isn't big enough to handle the magnitude of what has been entrusted to them. When you don't have the mental and emotional infrastructure to support sudden wealth, it can lead to stress, poor decisions, and ultimately the loss of that wealth. This is why, even when you pray for abundance, God will not release it until your internal frequency and capacity are aligned with His purpose for you. You must be prepared both spiritually and biologically to hold what is coming. Money, when it comes, acts as a magnifier of who you truly are. It doesn't change your character, it amplifies it. If you're generous, money will make you a philanthropist, giving you the ability to impact lives in ways you never thought possible. If you're fearful, money will make you paranoid, keeping you in a constant state of worry and mistrust. The wealth you are about to receive is not just about financial success. It's about revealing your true character. If your heart is aligned with God's purpose, you will use the wealth to bless others and advance His kingdom. But if your heart is still stuck in fear, doubt, or selfishness, the wealth will only serve to expose those inner struggles. Money is not inherently good or evil, it's simply a tool. It can build or destroy, heal or harm depending on how you use it. But in order for you to receive it as a tool for good, you must have the internal capacity to manage it well. If your heart is still full of fear, that fear will amplify with the wealth. If your heart is full of generosity and faith, that generosity will expand into even greater blessings. This brings us to a critical point, the shadow of doubt that lurks in the back of your mind. This doubt, this voice that whispers, "Am I really worthy of this? Will I lose it all, like I've lost everything else?" is a powerful indicator that your internal container is not yet prepared for the magnitude of wealth coming your way. That voice is not just self-doubt, it's the fear that your internal frequency is mismatched with the frequency of abundance. The enemy uses this doubt to keep you stuck in a state of unpreparedness. He knows that if he can convince you that you're not worthy of this blessing, that you won't be able to handle it, he can block you from receiving the full measure of God's promises. But I'm here to tell you that this doubt is not the truth. It's a lie that has been planted to keep you from stepping into your divine destiny. That voice is not your own, it is the enemy trying to keep you in a small, limiting mindset. You must recognize it for what it is and refuse to let it dictate your actions. The key to overcoming this shadow of doubt lies in renewing your mind and expanding your internal container. As long as your mind and heart are still locked in a place of fear, lack, and unworthiness, the wealth will not be able to oust its place in your life. You must expand your capacity to receive. How do you do this? You do this by aligning your mind, your spirit, and your body with the frequency of abundance. You do this by letting go of the old mindset that has kept you in survival mode and stepping into a new mindset of receiving, of trust, and of abundance. The first step in this process is to recognize the lies you've been believing. Recognize the voices of self-doubt, fear, and insecurity, and replace them with the truth of who you are in Christ. You are not just someone who can handle wealth. You are someone who is divinely chosen to receive it and use it for God's glory. Your capacity to hold wealth is not determined by your past mistakes or your current limitations. It is determined by your willingness to expand, to grow, and to align yourself with God's purpose. The wealth that is about to enter your life will not just change your financial situation, it will change you. It will reveal the parts of you that have been hiding in fear, and it will give you the opportunity to transform into the person God has always intended for you to be. But in order for that transformation to take place, you must prepare your internal container. You must be ready to handle the weight of glory and gold that is coming. This preparation isn't just about financial knowledge or strategies. It's about spiritual and emotional growth. It's about developing the inner strength, peace, and faith to handle the blessings without being crushed by them. God will not give you more than you can handle, but He will challenge you to grow, to expand, and to trust that He has already equipped you to receive what He has promised. Now is the time to address the shadow of doubt that has been holding you back. It's time to confront those fears and beliefs that have kept you from stepping into your full potential. The wealth is already on its way, but it's not just the money that will change your life. It's the transformation that will take place within you as you align with the abundance that God has secured for you. Step into your new identity as a steward of wealth, as someone who is capable of holding and using the blessings that are about to pour into your life. Your internal container is growing right now, and as you expand, so too will your ability to receive the divine wealth that God is about to release into your life. In Deuteronomy 8:18, God gives you the power to create wealth. But this power is not merely about having the ability to generate income or acquire riches. It's about something far deeper. The power that God gives you is the capacity to not only receive wealth, but to sustain and hold it without being overwhelmed by it. This is a crucial distinction. Wealth, if not properly managed, can easily become a burden. If your internal capacity isn't developed to handle the weight of abundance, the wealth you receive could crush you rather than bless you. But God, in His wisdom, is not just giving you the ability to obtain wealth. He is also giving you the strength, the structure, and the internal space to hold it, to manage it, and to use it for His glory. This process of developing your capacity to hold wealth is not a small task. It's a divine responsibility. God knows that you are capable of carrying the weight of His blessings, but He also knows that this process requires preparation. It requires a transformation of your mind, spirit, and emotions so that you can be equipped to handle what He is about to release into your life. To receive the wealth that God is releasing, you must first expand your capacity. But this isn't just about building physical or financial strength. It's about shifting the very frequency of your being. For so long, you've been operating on beta waves, the frequency of stress, anxiety, and survival. In this state, you are constantly alert, always on guard, always thinking about how to survive and get by. While this is useful in moments of danger or crisis, it is not the state you need to be in to receive divine downloads and to align yourself with abundance. When you are stuck in beta, your mind is focused on defense, not receiving. You cannot hear the strategies or the divine guidance that God is sending your way. You are too wrapped up in the external noise, too consumed by worry, to tune into the still, quiet voice of God. The very essence of the billionaire shift requires you to shift from beta to theta. Theta is the frequency where creativity flows, where divine insight is received, and where your mind is open and receptive to the blessings and guidance of God. This is the frequency that allows you to hear clearly, to create without limitation, and to receive the wealth that God is about to release into your life. The battle for your mind is fierce, and the enemy knows that if he can keep you trapped in beta, he can keep you from stepping into the fullness of your divine potential. The enemy's strategy is simple. If he can keep you in a constant state of stress, fear, and survival, he can prevent you from receiving the abundance and breakthrough that God has already secured for you. He knows that if you are in beta, you are too focused on the external world, too focused on the challenges and struggles to be able to receive the divine guidance and strategies that are necessary to step into your new season of wealth. This is why you've been under attack in your mind. The enemy's goal is not to stop you from getting wealth. It's to stop you from being in the right state of mind to receive it. As long as your mind is focused on survival mode, the wealth that God is sending your way will not find a place to land. But you have the power to break free from this cycle. You have the power to shift your internal frequency from beta to theta, and when you do, everything changes. The key to unlocking your capacity to receive wealth is to calm your mind, to release the stress, and to open yourself up to God's guidance. It's about learning to quiet the noise of the world around you and tuning in to the divine frequency that will allow you to receive everything that God has for you. This shift won't happen overnight. It requires consistent effort, a commitment to renewing your mind, and a willingness to let go of the old patterns that have kept you stuck in survival mode. But I'm here to tell you that it is possible. You can shift your frequency, and when you do, you will begin to experience the fullness of what God has prepared for you. The battle for your mind is real, but the victory is already yours. God has already given you the power to create wealth. Now He is calling you to expand your capacity to hold it. This process of expansion isn't just about making more money or acquiring more resources. It's about transforming your mind and your spirit so that you can carry the weight of divine abundance without being overwhelmed. It's about learning to operate in theta, where your mind is aligned with God's purpose and where divine downloads flow freely. When you are in theta, you are not just receiving wealth, you are receiving the wisdom and the strategies to steward it well. You are becoming the person who is capable of handling the wealth that God is releasing into your life. Now is the time to shift. Now is the time to expand your capacity. The wealth is already coming, but you must be ready to receive it. The shift is happening, and you are being prepared to step into a new season of abundance and divine provision. Don't let the enemy keep you trapped in beta. Don't let the distractions of the world prevent you from hearing the divine strategies that God is giving you. It's time to reset your mind, to align your frequency with abundance, and to step into the wealth and success that God has already secured for you. Your capacity is expanding, and the billionaire shift is yours to receive. Will you be ready? The power of the theta state is something that once you truly understand it, can transform your life. Theta is the frequency where creativity flows effortlessly, where stress dissolves, and where divine downloads are received with clarity and purpose. It's a state of being that allows you to tap into the abundance and divine creativity that God has already prepared for you. When you're in theta, you're no longer stuck in the mental chaos of survival mode. Instead, you are aligned with the higher frequency of divine flow. This is where the answers you've been seeking come to you in an instant. This is where the strategies for success, the visions for your future, and the divine insights for your next steps are given to you freely. In this state, you are not struggling to make things happen. You are receiving the guidance and inspiration that allows you to move effortlessly into the abundance that God has prepared. Theta is the place where your mind aligns with the divine flow of the universe, where the pressure and the stress of life fade away, and where the doors to wealth and creativity swing open wide. But in order to enter the theta state, you first need to address the biological block that has kept you in a lower frequency for so long. For most of your life, you've been operating in beta, the frequency of stress survival and high alert. Beta is not bad in and of itself. It's the frequency that allows us to react quickly in times of danger or crisis. It's the frequency your brain uses when it's dealing with life's most immediate challenges. But beta is not the state you need to be in to receive abundance and divine insight. The frequency of beta is tied to survival, not prosperity. It is tied to the struggle, to the constant fight for survival. It is tied to the stress and anxiety that have kept you in a perpetual state of worry. In beta, your mind is too busy, too distracted to hear the still, small voice of God or to tap into the creative ideas that will move you forward in life. The frequency of beta is the enemy of abundance because it keeps you focused on scarcity, on fear, and on lack. To truly receive the billionaire shift, To step into the wealth and success that God is bringing into your life, you need to leave beta behind and shift into theta. Theta is the frequency for abundance, creativity, and divine insight. In theta, you can hear God's voice clearly. You can receive His guidance, and you can align with the flow of wealth and prosperity that He is releasing into your life. Shifting from beta to theta is not just about a mental decision, it is a biological restructuring of your brain. This is where the biblical call to renew your mind becomes a powerful tool for transformation. In Romans 12:2, the Apostle Paul tells us to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This isn't just a metaphor for changing your thoughts. It's a call to literally change the way your brain functions. The process of renewing your mind is a biological one. It's about rewiring your neural pathways, restructuring the way your brain processes information, and shifting from a survival-based mindset to a prosperity-based mindset. Your brain is capable of this transformation, but it requires intentional effort. It requires the stepping out of the default survival mode and into a new way of thinking, one that aligns with abundance and divine flow. When you renew your mind in this way, you are not just changing your thoughts, you are changing your entire biological state. And this shift is what will allow you to receive the billionaire shift with ease. This process of renewing your mind is exactly what prepares you to handle the wealth that God is about to release into your life. When you shift into theta, you are expanding your capacity to receive. The wealth that is coming is not just financial. It is spiritual, emotional, and mental. It is a shift that requires you to be fully aligned with the frequency of abundance. You cannot receive what you are not prepared to hold, and you cannot hold what your mind and spirit are not ready to carry. This is why the renewal of your mind is so important. It is the key to unlocking your capacity to sustain and manage the wealth that God is about to pour into your life. The renewal of your mind is not just about thinking differently. It's about creating the internal space for the overflow that is coming. When you shift your frequency, when you renew your mind, you are creating a container that can hold the abundance and divine insight that will flood your life. The billionaire shift is already knocking at your door, but in order to receive it fully, you must be willing to step into the theta state and allow your mind to be transformed. This transformation is not a one-time event. It's a continual process of renewing your mind, of reprogramming your brain to function at a higher level. As you continue to shift into theta, as you continue to renew your mind, you will find that the wealth and success that God has prepared for you will flow into your life effortlessly. This is the divine flow that you've been waiting for, and it is now within your reach. But it all starts with your willingness to make the shift, to leave behind the survival mode of beta, and to step into the abundance that is already yours in theta. The transformation of your mind is the key to unlocking the divine wealth that God is about to release into your life. This is your moment. Will you take the step to shift your frequency and receive the billionaire shift with open arms? Traditional methods of spiritual and mental transformation are often slow and labor-intensive. Ancient mystics and monks spent decades in deep meditation, isolated from the distractions of the world, training their minds to shift from beta to theta. They understood that in order to receive the divine insights and blessings they sought, they had to alter their brainwave frequencies. This process of brainwave training, while effective, took years, decades in some cases. The mystics isolated themselves in caves, dedicated their lives to mastering the art of quieting the mind, and transformed their inner frequencies over time. They knew that the theta state was where creativity flowed, where divine downloads were received, and where true transformation occurred. However, in today's fast-paced, urgency-filled world, we simply cannot afford such a prolonged process. We live in an age of acceleration, where the divine shift is already knocking at your door, and you cannot wait decades to prepare your mind to receive it. The billionaire shift that God is bringing into your life is too urgent. The time for transformation is now. You need to be ready, and you need to be ready quickly. So how can we bridge the gap between the slow, traditional methods of brainwave transformation and the urgent, accelerated divine shift that is waiting for us? The key to quick transformation lies in a hidden sound frequency, something that has been used by ancient cultures but has only recently been uncovered by modern science. This hidden frequency is called the genius wave, and it has the power to bridge the 20-year gap of neural restructuring in just 7 minutes. Imagine that a transformation so powerful that in just a few minutes, you can begin to shift your internal frequency from the survival-driven beta state to the abundance-filled theta state. This is the key to unlocking the billionaire shift in your life. With the genius wave, you don't need to spend decades in isolation training your brain through arduous meditation practices. You can make the shift in minutes. The time barrier that has held you back, the old ways of slow and gradual change, can now be overcome in a matter of minutes. God's timing is urgent, and He has provided a way for you to accelerate your transformation. This is a divine tool that allows you to step into your purpose and receive the wealth and abundance He has already secured for you. The time for waiting is over. The time for transformation is now. The Genius Wave tool is designed to guide you directly into the theta state, where you can receive divine guidance, creative ideas, and financial abundance without the long wait. This tool uses advanced brainwave entrainment technology to gently guide your brain from the high-alert beta state to the calm, receptive theta state. Entrainment works by synchronizing the brain's electrical activity with the frequency of the sound, allowing you to bypass the traditional slow methods of mental transformation. Within just 7 minutes, the Genius Wave helps you shift from a survival-based mindset to a receiving mindset, aligning your frequency with the divine flow of abundance. This is not just a relaxation tool. This is a tool that aligns your mind with the frequency of wealth and prosperity. It is an invitation to step into the divine flow, to receive the wealth that God has prepared for you, and to align your mind with the frequencies of divine insight and creativity. In just 7 minutes, you will begin to experience the shift from beta to theta. As you listen to the Genius Wave, you will feel your mind and body relax, your stress dissolve, and your creativity flow. You will begin to access the divine downloads that have been waiting for you, and you will start to see the possibilities for abundance and success that were previously hidden. The Genius Wave works with your brain's natural rhythms, helping you tap into the state of divine creativity that has been reserved for those who are ready to step into their purpose. As you shift into theta, you will find that the stress of the past begins to dissolve, and you are able to access a new level of clarity, focus, and insight. You will be ready to receive the wealth that is coming your way because your mind and spirit will be aligned with the frequency of abundance. This tool is not just about relaxation, it is about transformation. The Genius Wave is the key to overcoming the time barrier, allowing you to make the shift in your mind and spirit quickly and effectively. This is the tool that will prepare you to receive the billionaire shift without delay, without the need for years of struggle or isolation. You don't have to wait decades to receive the wealth that God has prepared for you. You can begin the process now with the Genius Wave and align yourself with the divine flow of abundance. The time for transformation is now, And with this tool, you can step into your divine inheritance today. The billionaire shift is knocking at your door, and the genius wave is your gateway to receiving it. Will you step through it? Will you take the leap into the abundance that God has already secured for you? There is a deeply ingrained fear in many hearts when it comes to wealth. A fear that wealth will corrupt, that having money will somehow change you in a negative way, or that the very pursuit of wealth is inherently wrong. But let's stop right here and confront this fear head-on. The truth is, wealth itself is not the issue. It is the love of wealth, the obsessive desire to hoard it or worship it that leads to corruption. Money in and of itself is neutral. It is neither good nor evil. It is simply a tool, a resource that can be used to accomplish great things or to fulfill selfish desires. The real danger lies in how we relate to money, in how we allow it to shape our hearts and minds. Wealth is not the root of evil. The love of money is. If you are someone whose heart is focused on greed, selfishness, or materialism, then money will only magnify those tendencies. But if your heart is aligned with God's purpose, wealth becomes a powerful tool for good. It becomes a means to build, to bless, and to expand His kingdom. So the fear that wealth will corrupt you is not about the money. It's about how you align your heart and your intentions with the wealth you receive. Money is a tool not inherently evil, but powerful nonetheless. Like any tool, it can be used for both constructive and destructive purposes. The challenge then is not in wealth itself, but in how we handle it. If you are good-hearted in poverty, you will be good-hearted with wealth. The way you behave when you have nothing is the same way you will behave when you have everything, unless, of course, your heart undergoes a transformation. Wealth does not change your character. It magnifies it. So if you're a generous person, when you have little wealth, will amplify that generosity, allowing you to give on a greater scale. If you are compassionate, when you have nothing, wealth will enable you to provide for others in ways you never thought possible. But if you are fearful, insecure, or selfish in poverty, then wealth will only magnify those traits, and it will become a snare to your soul. This is why it's so important to shift your mindset and heart before the wealth arrives. You need to be ready to handle the abundance with wisdom, generosity, and integrity. Money will not make you a better person. It will simply amplify what is already inside you. God's mandate for wealth is clear. He is not calling you to be wealthy for the sake of luxury or self-indulgence. God is calling you to be wealthy so that you can be a blessing to those around you. You are called to be a steward of the resources He has entrusted to you. This means that wealth is not just for your comfort. It is for the survival and prosperity of your people. It is for the expansion of His kingdom, for the work He has called you to do. You are meant to be a conduit of His provision, a vessel through which blessings flow to others. Your wealth is not just about you, it is about fulfilling God's divine plan. You have a mandate to build, to create, and to help others. God is not asking you to apologize for the blessings He is giving you. You do not need to feel guilty for the wealth He is bringing into your life. The fear of wealth. The fear of being too blessed is a lie from the enemy. The truth is, God wants you to prosper. He wants you to succeed, not for your own glory, but for the good of His people. Too many people have internalized the lie that wealth is a curse, that it is wrong to be rich, or that financial success is somehow sinful. This lie keeps them stuck in poverty and scarcity, unable to step into the abundance that God has prepared for them. But God has called you to break free from that mindset. You are not called to be poor in spirit or in resources. You are called to prosper, to live in abundance, so that you can be a blessing to others. Stop apologizing for the blessing that God is giving you. Stop hiding your potential because of the fear that others will think you're selfish or greedy. Your wealth is a reflection of God's goodness, His provision, and His love for you. It is a tool that you can use to bring about His purposes on the earth. When you step into your divine calling to be wealthy, you are stepping into a role of influence, responsibility, and stewardship. Your wealth is a means to advance His kingdom, to bless your family, to lift up those in need, and to expand His work in the world. Don't let fear hold you back from receiving what God has prepared for you. You are called to be wealthy not for luxury, but for a purpose greater than yourself. You are meant to be a steward of the blessings God is giving you, using them to fulfill His will and to bless those around you. The wealth that is coming to you is not a curse, it is a tool, an instrument that will allow you to walk in the fullness of your divine calling. So embrace it. Step into it with confidence, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. You are His chosen vessel, and He is entrusting you with His abundance. Do not apologize for it. Do not shrink back from it. Embrace the wealth that God is giving you, and use it to fulfill His purpose in your life. The first step in protecting your wealth and ensuring that it doesn't slip through your fingers is to keep it silent for the first 30 days. When the financial breakthrough you've been praying for finally arrives, there is an incredible temptation to share it with others, to announce it to the world, or to seek validation for your newfound abundance. But the first and most crucial rule is to keep your blessing quiet, reserved for only those you truly trust and for God. There is power in silence. When you keep your wealth in silence, you allow it time to settle into your life without interference. If you begin to share it too soon, you open the door to unwanted opinions, jealousy, and even spiritual interference. People may try to project their fears or insecurities onto you, and in doing so, they may create an energetic disturbance that can disrupt the flow of your financial blessings. You are not obligated to share every detail of your journey, especially in the initial stages. Let the wealth take root in your life and align with your purpose before you allow others to influence its direction. Silence stabilizes the energy, helping you to avoid the distractions and negativity that could derail your progress. In the quiet, you can hear God's voice more clearly guiding you on how to steward this wealth for His purposes. Once you've protected your wealth with silence, your next step is to clear any lingering debt. Debt is like a chain that keeps you bound to old patterns of lack and limitation. When you enter into a new season of abundance, it is essential that you break free from the past, and that begins with eliminating any financial chains that are holding you back. Debt may seem like a normal part of life, but it is not part of God's plan for you to be enslaved to lenders. Proverbs 22:7 reminds us that the borrower is servant to the lender. A debt limits your freedom and keeps you tied to the old ways of managing money. Your first financial priority should not be indulging in luxury purchases, but paying off what you owe. By clearing your debt, you release yourself from the financial burdens of the past and step into the freedom that comes with financial peace. As you pay off your debt, you're not just removing the financial chains, you're also removing the mental and emotional stress that often accompanies owing money. This step is vital for maintaining long-term wealth, because once the chains of debt are removed, you free up more resources to be used for God's work and for your future. Once your debt is cleared, the next step is to apply the 3 storehouses principle. This principle ensures that you steward your wealth wisely and with intentionality. You must divide your wealth into 3 distinct categories: family security, kingdom assignments, and future savings for emergencies. Family security should always be your top priority. Your wealth is meant to provide stability and peace for your loved ones. Set aside a portion of your wealth for their well-being, so they are protected and cared for no matter what happens in the future. The second portion of your wealth should be set aside for kingdom assignments. This is the money you will use to bless others to invest in God's kingdom and to further His purposes on earth. Your wealth is not just for you. It is meant to be a tool for advancing His work and blessing those in need. The third portion should be saved for future emergencies. Life is unpredictable, and you never know when a financial storm may arise. By setting aside a portion of your wealth for emergencies, you create a safety net that allows you to weather difficult times without fear of financial collapse. This division ensures that you are preparing for both your personal future and the future of those around you, while also making sure that your wealth is being used to fulfill God's plan. The 3 storehouses principle is about balance and stewardship. It ensures that you are not only taking care of yourself and your loved ones, but that you are also using your wealth to make an impact in the world and protect yourself from future uncertainty. This approach keeps you grounded and aligned with God's purpose, preventing you from becoming distracted by the temporary pleasures of wealth, and instead focusing on the long-term fulfillment of your divine calling. By dividing your wealth wisely, you prevent it from becoming a burden or a source of pride. You create a system of responsibility and accountability that will help you maintain and grow the wealth that God is entrusting to you. This principle is about wise, thoughtful management of your resources, always keeping in mind that you are a steward, not the owner. God has given you this wealth to use for His kingdom, to bless others, and to secure your future. When you steward it well, you will continue to see it grow and multiply in ways that will bless you and those around you. You are called to be a Joseph to your family and community, a beacon of hope and provision in times of need. Joseph in the Bible was a man who rose from humble beginnings, facing incredible trials and challenges, only to be positioned by God in a place of power and influence. His wealth wasn't just for his own benefit. It was for the survival of his family, his people, and the fulfillment of God's divine purpose. Joseph used his wealth to bless others, to store up for times of famine, and to bring salvation to those around him. This is your calling too. God is calling you to be a Joseph, to not only manage the wealth He's about to pour into your life, but to use it to bless others and advance His kingdom. Your wealth is not just for your comfort. It is a tool that God has entrusted to you to help those in need and to build His kingdom on earth. Whether it's supporting your family, investing in the lives of others, or funding kingdom assignments, your wealth has a divine purpose. Just as Joseph's wealth saved nations and generations, yours has the potential to bring about transformation in the lives of those around you. It is your responsibility to steward it wisely, to ensure that it fulfills the greater purpose God has for it. However, with this calling comes great responsibility, and part of that responsibility is learning how to say no when needed. People will come to you with their emergencies, their requests, and their needs. As you begin to walk in your divine mandate, others will see the blessings in your life and will naturally seek your help. While it is a beautiful thing to be able to bless others, you must also learn to say no with authority, ensuring that you only give when directed by God. This is not about being selfish, but about being a wise steward of the resources God has given you. Not every request is a divine assignment, and not every person who comes to you with a need is meant to receive from you. There will be times when God asks you to say no to protect your wealth and to ensure that you are being strategic in how you distribute it. This is where wisdom and discernment come into play. You cannot be manipulated by guilt or emotions. You must be led by the Spirit, giving only when it aligns with God's will. Saying no doesn't mean you are rejecting people. It means you are protecting your resources for the right opportunities and the right assignments. Learning this skill will ensure that your wealth is used in ways that honor God and advance His kingdom, rather than being drained by every request or manipulation that comes your way. As you manage your wealth, wisdom becomes the most important factor. Proverbs 13:22 teaches that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. This inheritance is not just financial, it is the wisdom to manage and multiply what is given. This wisdom is critical in managing the wealth God will entrust to you. It's one thing to receive wealth, but it's another to have the wisdom to steward it well over time. Joseph didn't just store up wealth. He used it with strategy and foresight, understanding that the wealth wasn't for one season, but for generations to come. His wisdom in managing resources during times of plenty ensured that there was provision during times of famine. In the same way, the wealth you are receiving is not just for the present, it is meant to be passed down, multiplied, and used to leave a legacy. This is why wisdom in wealth management is so essential. You must seek God's guidance in every financial decision, ensuring that you are building a future not only for yourself, but for your family and community. God will provide the wisdom you need, but you must seek it earnestly, applying it to every area of your financial life. The wealth you are about to receive is a tool for generational impact, and it is up to you to use it wisely. In conclusion, you are called to be a Joseph in your generation. Your wealth has a divine purpose to bless others, to provide for your family, and to fund the work of God's kingdom. But with this calling comes responsibility. You must learn to say no when needed to protect your resources and to give only when directed by God. You must also seek the wisdom to manage your wealth well, ensuring that it is used strategically and for the greater good. The wealth that is coming to you is not just for today. It is meant to be passed down, multiplied, and used to leave a lasting legacy. Embrace the Joseph mandate and step into your calling as a wise and faithful steward of the wealth God has entrusted to you. The time is now for you to walk in your divine inheritance, to use your resources to bless others, and to fulfill the purpose that God has set before you. The billionaire shift is not a distant dream. It is here, knocking at your door, ready to transform your life. Now that your brain is aligned to receive this shift, the divine wealth that has been prepared for you is about to be released into your hands. But remember, with this great blessing comes great responsibility. You are not just receiving wealth. You are receiving the power to steward it wisely, with integrity, and in a way that aligns with God's purpose for your life. This wealth is not meant to overwhelm you or to distract you. It is meant to empower you, to allow you to fulfill your divine calling, and to be a blessing to those around you. But in order to handle the wealth that God is about to pour into your life, you must be prepared to hold it with wisdom. The more you are aligned with God's frequency, the more you will be able to receive His abundance and use it for His glory. You are ready. The time has come for you to step into your role as a steward of this great wealth. The shift is happening, and it is happening now. To ensure that you are fully prepared for what's coming, we will now enter into an activation ceremony. This is a sacred moment where we will seal the new frequency into your spirit. As we move through this ceremony, I want you to focus on the new mindset and the new identity that you are stepping into. You are no longer bound by the limits of survival mode. You are stepping into a new realm of abundance, creativity, and divine purpose. The frequency that has been activated in your mind will now be sealed in your spirit, so you can carry this new reality with you wherever you go. This is not just a moment of receiving. This is a moment of transformation where you are becoming the person who is able to handle the wealth, the influence, and the purpose that God has prepared for you. Take a deep breath and allow this new frequency to settle into every fiber of your being. Feel it deep within your soul, knowing that you are now equipped to receive and steward the wealth that God is about to release into your hands. You are ready. The shift is here. Now it's time for you to step into your divine inheritance with confidence. You have been called for such a time as this. The wealth that is coming to you is not just for your personal gain. It is for the kingdom of God, for the advancement of His work, and for the blessing of those around you. You are not just a recipient of wealth. You are a steward, a channel through which God's blessings can flow to others. The kingdom is waiting for you to step into your role as a steward of abundance. You have the power, the capacity, and the wisdom to manage the wealth that God is about to release into your life. This is your moment to rise up, to walk confidently into the fullness of your divine calling, and to use the resources He has entrusted to you to make a lasting impact. So take a step forward in faith, knowing that you are fully prepared for the wealth that is coming your way. Embrace the shift with open arms, knowing that God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed. The time for waiting is over. The billionaire shift is here, and it is your time to walk in the fullness of your divine inheritance. Step into your destiny with confidence, for you are more than capable of handling the wealth that is about to be released into your life. The kingdom is waiting for you to step up, take your place, and become the steward of abundance that God has always intended for you to be. The shift has arrived, and you are ready to receive it.